Hey guys, I hope you're doing good, and today we're going to be talking about a potential Game of the Year candidate called Clair Obscur Expedition 33. It's a new turn-based combat RPG game from Central Interactive that's been making waves for its breathtaking art, the combat, and the deeply emotional story. And now let's just see why this game might be an actual, let's just call it a masterpiece, because I think that a lot of people are calling it that, and it's very much valid. So, the game is set in a hauntingly beautiful world inspired by Belle Epoque era in France, and there is a mysterious entity called the Paintress, where she paints a number on a monolith every year. And anybody who reaches the age is erased from existence in an event called the Gamage. This year's number is 33, and you play as the Expedition 33, a group determined to defy fate and end the cycle of death. Now, after saying this, it actually explains the beginning of the game, or there is a cinematic and a little bit of a quest, where Gustav is trying to win back his love, and it's a rough scene because, you know, he is working pretty hard to win her back, and the whole situation is very awkward. At least it felt like it. And it seems like it went pretty well, and then guess what? Hey, the girl he's trying to win back, yeah, she got erased from existence. But the story itself is powerful and filled with themes of mortality, memory, and rebellion. The characters like Gustav, Lune, and Mael are fully fleshed out with voice performances to bring them to life in a way very few games manage. And the narrative itself is cinematic, since it does blend real-time cutscenes seamlessly with gameplay, making you feel truly immersed in the world. And the one thing I was mostly worried about when buying this game, before really seeing much of the gameplay or anything, was the combat itself. And the reason for that is when I saw turn-based, I was like, okay, so the only game I play like this, where it's turn-based combat, is Baldur's Gate. And while I like Baldur's Gate, when it's not your turn to attack, the game feels kind of boring. Just in the combat. I'm not talking about the story or anything that's outside the combat, but just purely the combat itself. It's kind of okay, now I just gotta wait and look. But in Clair, what you can do is you can dodge, you can parry. There's instances where you can counterattack because it's a trigger from blocking. And the blocking itself is very difficult, especially for fighting a enemy for the first time. Dear lord, the amount of times I die to that mime, it's not even funny. And at the same time, when you are attacking, you're just not, sitting there pressing a button ooh, there's an attack. No, you actually have to time the attacks. You press A, and based off your timing, you're able to dish out perfect attacks. Which I really like, because the game basically, in this day and age, in the TikTok day and age, this is great. Let me tell you, because I am actually forced to pay attention to the game, because if I'm playing shit like CS, let me tell you, I'm on TikTok 90% of the game. And the combat itself is it has depth, because there's stamina systems, there's so many systems in the game right now, because you can stun them, there's guarding, there's blocking, there's monsters that can dish out damage to your entire team if you don't block it, or in the case you can jump and then you can do a counter attack. But in general, I'm not really that deep into the game to talk about builds yet and playstyles, but from a small portion of the streams that I watch from Chunk Carnage, I think that there's still a lot for me to discover. But the icing on the cake itself is the visuals. And now, lately, I played a lot of games that were visually just stunning. An example of that, I'm just gonna go off on Ghost of Tsushima. We had Dragon's Dogma, Monster Hunter Wilds, as well as let's just say Kingdoms Come Deliverance 2 as well. And for some games, I'm gonna be honest, I just haven't found the time to play them. A game just looking nice does not mean that I will stick to playing it, because a lot of them, I'm gonna be honest, they just lack the depth that this game does have. But the game is made with Unreal Engine 5, and it honestly, it just looks like it was a living painting with each frame. Like, in some instances, it's nice and vibrant and turns to moody. And then, for example, like after like a little bit in the early game, you're in an ocean. And the character designs as well, they're very interesting in itself. Like, you got, in an aquatic environment, you have like things that like resemble marine life to some extent, or like things that resemble marine life. Then, a little bit out of it, there's a mime. Because for some reason, like, I'm mentioning the mime again for a reason, because like that mime is strong as fuck for no reason. Like, my attacks do like 17 points of damage. Like, that's insane. Meanwhile, that thing, it fucking takes half of my HP with like one swing, or stuns me. But the clear verdict for the game, before I start speaking about that thing for like another 30 minutes, the game is really great. It's a weird jam that combines emotion storytelling, innovative combat, and as I said, breathtaking visuals, and just a unforgettable package. And it's really an experience that explores like all aspects of life in a way that sticks with you for like a long time after you put on the controller. Because when I stopped playing the game and went to work and do my stuff, like, it's been a while since I had a game that I thought about at work, but I was like, you know, I actually can't wait home and play it again. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you do play the game, I really hope you enjoy it. But with that being said, thank you very much for watching this video, and do leave a like, subscribe, it does mean a lot to me. And as always, good luck in your game.